Welcome to the Sharkpreneur podcast with Kevin Harrington and Seth Greene. Kevin Harrington is the inventor of the infomercial, one of the original sharks from the hit TV show Shark Tank, and has generated over $5 billion in TV and digital direct response sales. Seth Greene is the world's first trusted authority on cutting-edge direct response marketing, a best-selling author, and the only 3-time Marketer of the Year nominee. On the podcast, Kevin and Seth interview sharkpreneurs who share straight talk on what it takes to explode your business.
Why do so many businesses struggle while others seem to explode overnight? Do you wish you had the secret to this type of exponential growth? Now, I've scaled more than 20 businesses to over $100 million, and it's not just luck. In my new book with Mark Tim, Mentor to Millions, you'll learn the repeatable framework I use in all my business ventures for massive success. Order at kevinmentor.com and get over $1,000 in bonuses. Head to kevinmentor.com.
Welcome to the podcast. This is your host, Seth Greene. Today I have the good fortune to be joined by Troy Ericson, the owner of copywriting.org, email deliverability.com, email listmanagement.com. His company is called Email Paramedic and has generated over $100 million for their clients by improving email copy and deliverability. He's worked with Traffic and Funnels, our client and friend, Rich Sheffrin, Joel Irway, Smart Marketer, our friend and mentor, Perry Belcher, David Belcher, Perry Belcher and David Meltzer, and just about everybody else. Troy, thanks so much for joining us.
Hey, what's up, Seth? No problem. Thanks for having me here.
Happy to have you. Let's go back in time just a little bit. How'd you get started?
Yeah, so as I go way back, I was 13. All I wanted to do my whole life was be a professional baseball player. We'll skip ahead a few years and basically made it to high school, tore my UCL, which is the ligament that you need to throw a baseball. In college, I still made it, even though I kind of was disadvantaged by that, but I made it. Turned out I got this thing called the yips, which is like a mental performance inhibitor that a lot of times stems from surgeries, other childhood traumas, things like that. But I wasn't even aware what childhood trauma was till later in life. But ultimately, it drove me out of baseball. I got cut as a senior, and that was my life goal. And I kind of had to reinvent myself in probably the most of what I thought at the time was a humiliating way. I was just on my phone on Snapchat, and somebody was like, "Hey, swipe up if you want to make money." And I was like, gosh, this is lowest of the low right here, but let me just swipe up and see what happens. Turns out that the guy running the account was called Grant Cooper, and he had an agency called Social Vantage, and he just gave free value every single day on Snapchat, of all places. And he talked about eBay, and then he kind of transitioned into running Facebook ads because that's what his agency did. So I learned, I took his course that he eventually sold for $1,000. Didn't really have it, but my mom helped me out. And then I got that and just went on Upwork and started to close some clients because I just followed what the course said. I didn't really have anything else to do at this point. So followed what the course said, got some clients on Upwork, got connected with a couple good ones. And eventually one day, one of those clients was like, "Hey, we need to fire you." And I said, "Why?" And I looked and I was like, "Hey, the cost per lead is pretty good. Why do you want to fire me? What's up?" And they wouldn't tell me. And I said, "No, you're going to tell me. If you're going to let me go, you're going to tell me." And they said, "All right, fine. Our emails aren't performing. We're going to spam. And these leads you're getting aren't converting because they're not seeing the emails." I said, "All right, let me fix that for you. I won't charge you anything until it's fixed. And then we can go back to what we had before. Is that fair?" And they were like, "All right, I guess so, if corporate approves it." So they did because it was free. So I went in and I studied email really hard, every resource I could get my hands on. And I had a little bit of experience from my other client who was very a transformational client, one of those clients that lets you do anything and everything. So I had a little email experience. And over the course of that summer, the client who had the problem, I took them from $13K a month in email revenue to $51K a month, literally just by sending more emails, making them not suck, and fixing their spam problem. That's pretty much at the point where I was like, "Hey, I should probably do this more often and get out of this red ocean of Facebook ads," or, at the time it was, and come over here into email. And to this day, email is still a really blue ocean. And we just pretty much do exactly that, but for a lot more people and a lot bigger people as well.
Well, congratulations with all of that. I'm sure the longer version of that journey is probably in a book somewhere. And if it's not, it should be
Sometime.
So talk a little bit. I mean, you've now worked with the who's who in the internet marketing space. How did you form some of those relationships? Surely somebody like Perry Belcher or Rich Sheffrin has somebody doing email stuff. I know that's not what you do. But how do you get in the door like that?
Yeah. So really it was just going to events, because my client who like let me do all the stuff I was talking about, my transformational client, there was a point where I did really well for him. So like if you do good things for people, they'll do good things for you. And at one point his wife was delivering their child and he said, "Hey, I have this ticket to an event. I can't go. Do you want it?" And originally I was like, "No, I'm good. I just want to travel around and just have fun somewhere else," because I was on a trip. And eventually I kind of came to my senses and I was like, you know what? I'm sorry, I should probably take this ticket because it's like gifted to me and I want to get good at this whole business thing. So I went there and kind of got acclimated with the copy accelerator crowd from that mastermind. So like Stephen Georgi and Justin Goff running that. And I just kind of got connected into their circle, into their network, and closed a lot of clients from there. Not right at that event, but at the next event where I had to buy my own ticket for the first time. So yeah, just doing good work for good people, and then they put you in at good events, and then you just repeat the process, right? So at the end of the day, the answer is community, because it is like we're 7 connections away from anybody in the world. Well, you're only like 1 or 2 away for most people in business once you get to know enough people.
That is for sure. So what are some of the lessons you've learned from working on such large accounts?
Yeah. So the thing I've realized with large accounts, like sometimes they're more complex, sure, but it's like the same fundamentals and principles apply. And there's a lot of people, especially freelancers, that get kind of nervous when there's a big account involved. And a lot of it just has to do with the name of the business owner, right? Because it's a big name, they don't want to mess it up. But really, you just have to find a process that works at small scale, and then go get like a medium-sized client, test the same thing, find out which intricacies are unique to like medium-sized clients, but the fundamentals are the same, and then go after some big ones and find out what's unique about them and what they need. And then you just kind of like keep growing and going from there. But really, as you level up too, it's just a matter of understanding that people, they literally just want results. If you get them a result and you're a cool person, you're going to go really, really far. So there's not a ton that changes fundamentally. Like, sure, I could get nitty gritty in the weeds and talk about email marketing and some of those things, but overall, that's really all I've noticed.
Well, that makes a lot of sense. You've achieved so much success for your clients and your own business. What's your biggest challenge now?
Oh gosh. So right now I actually just acquired a software called mailgenius.com because it's just another lead source for us, right? Because ads are cool and all, but I don't want to be dependent upon ads. So mailgenius.com is the software where you can go and you can test your emails for free. So you go there, it gives you an email address, you send an email to that address and you click a button and it tells you what's wrong with your emails. So now that's like lead gen for us. And for me, I've never run a software before. So really just figuring that side of things out and getting into this whole software and AI space in a time when it's more important than ever before. That's probably my biggest hurdle at the moment and biggest challenge. But building a team, that's another thing that's like an ongoing thing, no matter what. It's going to be challenging at times. So I'd say those couple of things are probably what give me the most, not troubles, but like things to think about and overcome.
Wow, your passion is obvious. What do you like best about what you're doing?
Really just building something, because at the end of the day, it's like, what else am I going to do with my time? It's like everything was in baseball at one point, and now I'm over here. I'm just trying to build a business and have a team and have challenges to overcome. And it's fun. It's like, yeah, you can make money and that's cool and all, but really it's just a scoreboard against yourself. Like, how did you do last year? How did you do this year? Are you growing? Are you running up the scoreboard on the 2022 version of yourself? Are you winning in 2023? And you just kind of keep track of things that way. And then obviously the amount of people you help and the relationships that you cultivate.
Absolutely. How has like the advent of AI and ChatGPT and things like Jasper, how are those affecting your business?
Yeah, so they're really just research tools, and a lot of people are becoming more familiar now that it's like more of a tool to equip your team with rather than to replace your team. So, for example, if one of my list managers, one of my account managers, they can do like 5 accounts, well, maybe now they can do 6, and we just become that much more efficient, and they get paid a little more because they're able to manage more accounts, things like that. So, really, it's a great research tool for writing, and it's a great it's a different perspective of Google, right? Because there's certain things I can put into Chat GPT that Google just doesn't know the answer to. And there's certain ways that I can write and put a lot of my emails inside of Chat GPT, and it learns who I am and what I'm writing about. Or you could, do the same thing for a client, and it just really picks up on you. And then it kind of gives you more and more feedback as you go. But what's really nice about what we do is obviously we're not just writing emails, we're building out automations and strategies. And we're also doing deliverability, which is a whole nother component of our business that's super unique to us. So we're using it as a tool rather than something that's kind of scary, because we haven't even lost a client yet from it at all. If anything, it's people are more excited about, email and copywriting and so forth.
Absolutely. For our folks who are watching and listening, where is the best place for them to go to learn more about you? Because there's so many different places.
Oh my gosh, you're right about that. I would say for a podcast listener, probably faqemail.com. It's basically, you go there and I give you a free document that takes all the questions that people ask me about email, and I give you the answers.
That's an awesome lead magnet by itself. All right. So we will send everyone there. I know you are a voracious learner, as evidenced by the fact that you keep expanding in the vertical and opening more businesses to solve the same problem in different ways and reach more people. What are 3 of your favorite books?
Oh my gosh. I like Pitch Anything by Warren Claff, because it kind of opened me up a little bit to be more aggressive. I also like the E-Myth, because it's just it just kicks down a lot of doors when it comes to just being online in general. And then, oh gosh, I would say, I can't even remember off the top of my head, but Eugene Schwartz wrote a book, and the name
Breakthrough Advertising.
Yeah, I read that, and it was probably 4 years ago when I was first starting, and I was like, wow, this whole advertising thing is pretty cool. So I'm not an avid reader, to be honest, but those are a few of the books that I like.
Awesome. Well, those are great recommendations. We greatly appreciate you spending some time with us. This has been Seth Greene with Troy Ericson. Go check him out at FAQ Email. Troy, thanks again for joining us.
Yeah, thank you, Seth. I appreciate it.
Thanks, everybody, for watching or listening. We will talk to you or see you next time.
Do you need money to fund your idea, product, or service? Are you ready to take your business to the next level but need capital to get it done? Kevin Harrington has heard more than 50,000 pitches and knows how to help you make the perfect pitch to get the funding for your entrepreneurial dream. He's distilled the process down in his perfect pitch cheat sheet, and it's yours for free. Just text PITCH to him right now at 727-888-2100. Text PITCH to 727-888-2100 right now and claim your free perfect pitch cheat sheet. Text PITCH to 727-888-2100 to start funding your dream today.
This show has been produced by Market Domination, LLC. To discover how you can have your own show completely done for you and turn it into a real published book and become the authority in your marketplace, go to www.marketdominationllc.com/podcast offer.